Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this postmortem of my Blitz game number 569. I had the black pieces, my opponent played e4, and I went with the French defense, e6. So after d4, d5, knight c3, the most popular move here, I play bishop to b4, the Winawer. So this is a Winawer variation of French defense, a very interesting and complicated opening. And my opponent plays a rare line known as the Fingerslip variation, bishop to d2. Alexander Alekhine, the world champion, played this once in a tournament, and someone asked him afterwards why he had played that move, and he said it was a slip of the fingers. It looks like a mistake at first. Looks like it's just dropping the e-pawn, but things are not that simple. And in fact, what I was thinking during the game is wrong. Let's first of all, I was talking about this move taking. If you take right away and then grab the pawn, queen to g4 gets the pawn back because of the double attack, and this is a fine position for white. So the way I played it was actually correct. You take the pawn right away, and if black takes back, then you can grab the d-pawn and defend the bishop. That's what I was missing. So knight taking back is not a good idea. And so he just plays queen g4 now. It's the main move. And so white gets some active play, and he gets his position. He gets his pawn back. But unlike other French defense positions, this d-pawn is loose here. I didn't recognize it. Queen takes d4 could actually be played right here, but I played the move knight f6 first. It's also a typical response. When the queen is attacking both these pawns, it's often the case you want to hold on to that center pawn, which is cramping your opponent's development, and suffer a little openness over here on the king side. You just have to learn to deal with these things in the French defense. So I chase the queen off to the side, and then I notice that this pawn is loose, and I grab it. So I've played this opening pretty well, actually, in spite of not knowing what I was doing. That seems like a very reasonable variation. Now the normal move here is castling queenside, putting the rook opposite my queen and then hoping to chase the queen away, but my opponent goes knight ge2, another way of directly harassing the queen. And we're just out of the opening book, but that was a good move, actually, and white has pretty much equalized here. So it's an interesting way to play for white. You're not really playing for an advantage like you do in some other lines, but you're playing for an equal position where both sides have chances, and it's nice and complicated. So interesting play by white here. Okay, so let's see. It's my turn. I go queen e5. He's hitting my queen. I need to hide that somewhere, and now he castles queenside. I bring my rook up to g6, and he drops his queen back to h4. Knight to c6. So just normal developing moves. I'm keeping some slight edge through here. I get into a bit of trouble in a few moves, though. The problem is my queen is somewhat exposed out here, and he starts harassing it with this move bishop f4, and not so many squares to go to. It looks like queen to a5, running all the way to the other side of the board, is the best way to keep an advantage. Let's see, I went over here to f5, and now, I guess that's the point of queen a5. Queen a5 also protects the c-pawn, so this move I play gives up a pawn here. So I didn't notice that until after he took the pawn. Let's see. So I lift my rook up to g4 to harass his queen a little bit. The queen goes to h6. Cancel that. Goes forward to h6. And now I play bishop to f8. I want to bring this bishop back and harass the queen some more. I was thinking maybe I could actually trap the queen, but it looks like there's always a square that it can go to. But at least I chased it away from the king side. It drops back to e3. And now I develop the bishop so I can get a rook over here to the c file, maybe get some pressure on the white king. But that's a mistake. Let's see, what's the move here? Bishop to c5. Well, bishop to c5 is just asking for a repetition. So it seems like, it's hard to find a better move than that, though. Of course, white isn't obliged to repeat, so after bishop to c5, the queen goes to d2. And then I can grab the f2 pawn. Okay, that's the point. I get a pawn back here on f2 with bishop to c5. So that would be a way to keep material equality. So I'm going down a pawn here, and white's a little better. Let's see, he plays g3 here. Sorry, g3, cancel that. I'm not so sure about that move. Yeah, that move doesn't accomplish a lot, and I still have this bishop c5 idea, which I don't play. I play knight to b4 instead. I'm looking at my opponent's king side, so I gave up my chance twice there to play that move. Now he comes out with bishop h3, hitting my pinning my rook against the queen, and just hoping to win the exchange here. Let's see, I throw in knight to d5, harassing his queen. Cancel that. Knight f to d5, harassing his queen. He takes it off. I take back, and then yeah, I take back with my knight because I'm still harassing his queen, and the queen goes to d4 here. And my next move, bishop to g7, is a mistake. And there's an interesting tactical sequence after bishop g7, so I won't put that on the board, but I'll leave that to you as a tactical quiz. Maybe it's not too hard to see, so if you want to check it out, it's kind of an interesting exercise. It's just a question of following through the logical sequence and seeing, making sure you look ahead far enough. That's the mistake I made in this position. I didn't look ahead far enough before playing that move, bishop g7. So if you want to pause the video, see if you can figure out what I'm talking about there. Okay, I'm going to give the answer away now. After bishop g7, his queen can just take that, and I'll show you what I missed. He didn't take it. He missed it as well. But if he takes it, you know, I thought I would take back with the rook, and then he takes my queen. So I'm down a piece, and then I was expecting to take back this way. And what I missed is that my knight is hanging at the end of that sequence. So that's what I meant about not looking ahead far enough. So I end up being a piece down because it's a queen for a bishop. I was expecting to get a queen for a bishop here, but to take back that bishop, I have to undefend my knight. So that's what I missed, and he missed it too. He played queen to c4, and so now I'm a little better, and I stay better for a while. Let's see, I play rook c8, getting on this file, looking with some dangerous looking threats against the queen and the king there. He goes with bishop g4, capturing the exchange there, and I come in with knight to f4. Okay, that's one of the moves here. Oh, it's white's turn. White comes in with knight to f4. And let's say I played rook takes c7, gathering up the bishop. So I've won a piece here. Let's count the material. 2 rooks. I have 2 pieces for a rook. So I gave up the exchange and won an extra piece. So anyway, interesting sequence there. He goes queen to b3, getting away from my rook and looking at the pawn here. And yeah, knight takes f4 is the simplest way to play here, and the best. Probably. I went bishop to c6. Keeping an edge. Okay, so rook h to e1, he gets his rook centralized, and now I take off the knight. So yeah, I have quite a comfortable edge here, and I was feeling pretty good about my chances to win this game. But, well, your king is often not entirely safe in the French defense, and this starts to become a problem here in a few moves. Let's see, I take the pawn with check. King runs to b1, and I bring my bishop out to d5. Cancel that. This bishop to d5. Okay, I wanted to block the d file here, although I can never really walk my king here because he's always got the c-pawn push, taking advantage of the pin. As long as the queen's supporting it, he's got that. So after bishop d5, he goes queen to a3. And now I make an amazing move here, which both of us completely missed during the game. But I play the queen to d6, so hopefully you can see with the advantage of time the problem with that move. The queen's not supported there, so I was bringing my queen back to safety here, I thought. But of course he can just take the queen off and that would lose. So that's kind of an amazing move, and also equally amazing that he missed it. But what's happened at this point is that I've just been playing chess for too long, and my brain has stopped working, I think. Sometimes that happens. You play a few Blitz games in a row, and you hit an overload, and you just stop seeing things. So that was an amazing mistake. Also amazing that my opponent didn't see it. It's kind of a one of those situations where you're trusting your opponent that he knows what he's doing, and you really shouldn't. You know, I'm offering the exchange of queens here, I guess, but it wasn't much of an exchange since he can just take it. Anyway, he took on a7, and I went to a6 here, and he does have this possibility of coming in with the check, but that works out okay for me. I didn't notice this. Well, once again, it shows how I was starting to lose the thread of the game, but this check doesn't work out. With the check, I can just move my king up. Sorry, not there. Move my king here, defending the rook. And then I guess his queen's not easily escaping from this position, and I have an attack on his king. So that actually loses for white. So he takes the queens off, and I still have an edge in spite of my mistakes because he hasn't taken advantage of them. But the game continues, and the two bishops against the rook. It's kind of an interesting endgame where the bishops should have the advantage. The engine likes black's position, but it's a bit tricky. And let's go forward to the critical moment here. I keep an edge for a while, so I'm playing okay through this part. But his rooks get active, and they start chasing my bishops around, and I haven't found a way really to take advantage of the power of the bishops just yet. But as the position simplifies, you know, these lines open up for the bishops and for the rooks, and the bishops can sometimes dominate a rook. It's pretty interesting. But right there, that's the mistake. So what can I play here? Bishop to f4. Okay, so kind of a logical move, harassing his rook some more and maybe trying to organize these pieces. I was just annoyed by all these threats of loose bishops. You know, if there's ever a pin on this file, then this bishop is loose. So I was trying to find some kind of safety for my king. But I walk out here, and I just walk into a crossfire of the rooks, and there's just no escaping after this point. Rook to f1 check, and white is just winning. I can't go back here because that leaves my bishop hanging. So I'm committed to defending the bishop. I have to go this way, and now he's got this h-pawn push. So so that was the big mistake here, the final mistake. There were lots of mistakes in this game, but the final mistake was this king f6 move, protecting the bishop, when I should have just moved the bishop away from that and just played on in this position. Let's see, he has one pawn. Yeah, so it's 4 pawns to 3 and 2 bishops for a rook. But the engine likes black quite a bit here. Yeah, the bishops usually have an advantage against the rooks. A pair of bishops is worth more than a rook in the endgame, but with this outside pass pawn, he's always got chances. So it would be a long game from here, and obviously I wasn't thinking straight. So anyway, after this, it's losing. You know, I hold on to things and try to make the best of it, but he never lets go of his advantage. He actually plays his part quite well, and picks off my pawns one by one, and I resigned at this point. So anyway, interesting game, some cute tactics in there, as well as some incredible blunders. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Bye.